Hey guys, it's Jillian, and this is all of the happenings from off of the ice. It was a week of extreme highs and lows in the hockey world. First, the loss of Gordie Howe. He is one of the people you think of when you think of who made this game so great. It was not a surprise to see the hockey community and entire sports community pay tribute over the weekend, and it just highlights how much he meant to the game, even garnering a statement from President Obama. A legendary career and incredible person, he will truly be missed. Rest in peace, Mr. Hockey. So this one hurts a little bit to say, but congratulations to the Pittsburgh Penguins, your 2016 Stanley Cup champions! Woo! Their performance was impressive throughout this entire playoffs. Their speed proved to be unstoppable, and I would not be surprised to see teams build around this strategy moving forward. One of my favorite stories from the final was the various goal calls from the voices around the league. Most notable was probably the Hockey Night Punjabi Bonino goal call. However, there was some competition from a Finnish commentator.
Donskoi tulee läpi kiekon kanssa. Donskoi laukaa etsään tekee maali! Jonas Donskoi!
I'll admit it, it doesn't quite roll off the tongue like Bonino, 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 Bonino! But it does capture that excitement felt after a game-winning overtime goal in the Stanley Cup Final. Hockey Night Punjabi not to be outdone though, and had one final call for what would be the cup-clinching goal. What I love about all of these is that you don't have to speak the language to understand and hear that excitement. It's like a universal language of sports, and for me, that's pretty cool. This week, the Washington Capitals tweeted out that Braden Holtby will be participating in the DC Pride Parade.
Oh God, we're gonna talk about this one, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I think what Holtby is doing is great. Seeing a prominent face in the NHL participating in a local Pride Parade is a great step. And what may not seem like a big deal is in fact extremely meaningful to many fans across the league. Honestly, when I first saw the story, I was terrified to read how the internet would react. Can you blame me there? But I gathered the courage and read the responses, and much to my surprise, the majority of the feedback I saw was positive, and I thought maybe the NHL's partnership with the You Can Play project is starting to have an impact. The NHL was the first major league in America to team up with the You Can Play project, as Patrick Burke is one of the co-founders, and this was done in 2013, and culture change takes time. It is no secret that in all major league sports, they're filled with hypermasculinity, and this is hard because it is so engraved in the culture. We saw it earlier this playoffs when Andrew Shaw used a homophobic slur. People were worried how the league would handle it, and I think if it wasn't for the You Can Play project, the disciplinary action that followed would not have happened in the same way that it did. And I'm in no way saying that Shaw is a bad guy, but this is more reflective of a larger issue. Calling someone by any type of slur in this manner comes from a place of feeling that gay men are somehow lesser than their straight male counterparts. Whether they recognize this or not doesn't matter. It is at the root of what is said, and this is a very tough subject. Homophobia is impacted by many things: sexism, racism, transphobia, among many other subjects. And we can continue to do all of these things, showing player faces at pride parades or suspending a player for homophobic slurs. But cultural change takes more than that. We have to stop calling Sidney Crosby Cindy, or calling Henrik Lundqvist Queen Henry, or referring to the Sedins as the Sedin sisters. Also, I understand that what is said on the ice is supposed to stay on the ice. But when we are so willing to mindlessly yell to go suck his d, or when fans are so casually able to say that a team got in the ass without thinking of what this actually means, we have a problem. Sentiments like that have larger implications in that they are reinforcing a belief that these things are somehow lesser than being a macho man. If you think that suspending Andrew Shaw for one game for the use of one word, or if showing up at a pride parade is all that is needed, you're wrong. Yes, I am happy to see the NHL and teams do these things, and it makes me proud of this league, but I will not stop asking for more until there is truly a cultural change. Learning how Holtby and his wife are involved and committed to understanding and improving the issues facing the LGBTQ community is a great example of how we can go deeper than just being a face in the crowd. Another great example of how we can take these instances and actually use them as a force for change is Sauce Hockey's response to the backlash they received from an offensive retweet. About a month ago, the hockey lifestyle apparel company retweeted an offensive image in which a team's locker room, an NHL team's locker room, was compared to a transgender bathroom. The company's 52,000 plus followers on Twitter promptly responded to the offensive retweet, and most notably was Paul Bissonnette of the Phoenix Coyotes, who actually ended his relationship with the company as a direct result. Sauce Hockey immediately apologized publicly on Twitter, but it went beyond that. They apologized again and took full responsibility and full ownership of their actions.
Maybe rapist Brock Turner can take a lesson on how that's done.
And they didn't expect everyone to immediately forgive them. They understand that an apology without action is meaningless. And they laid out a plan called Breaking Out, a play on coming out and the hockey expression breakout, and what actions are being taken internally and externally to create change. They are working to become a company that is inclusive and supportive of LGBT rights. I have provided the link below to the article. You can read more about their plan below. I highly recommend you do so. And I'm sure that most people thought it was over after the apology on Twitter, because it usually is. And that is where the problem is. It stops after the public apology, and it stops after the one-game suspension, and it stops after we show up at the Pride Parade. But these issues don't stop in real life. And that is why we have to continue to have these conversations outside of just PR moments, because that is when change will happen. We can all learn something from Holtby and his wife, and how we can start taking these small steps and turning them into bigger actions. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week.